Just to get going. Oh, there it is. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you all for joining. This is the February 25th edition of the Service Binding Operator Developer weekly call. So thank you all for joining. Today we have a few announcements that we want to go through. To start off, I wanted to hand it over to Predrag, talk a little bit about the 0.5 release, as well as some updates to the latest version. Predrag?
Sure, thanks. So as we talked last week and week before, so we are going to release 0.5 in the next couple of days. We were waiting for one additional PR to be merged this week, so that happened at the beginning of the week. And yesterday I also discovered some discrepancy between the cluster rows which are landing in the bundle versus what really needs to be there. So we corrected this yesterday, and the PR got merged today. With all this, I think we are in a good shape to start the release process. So we do release the operator on two sides. One is the operator hub for the upstream Kubernetes cluster, and the other one is Red Hat Catalog for the OpenShift. So there are two workflows which needs to be triggered, and this is going to happen right after this meeting. The good news, apart from the so maybe I can share my screen and just go through the milestones. In the milestone to. Okay. It's coming? Yeah, okay. So you did a couple of interesting stuff in 0.5. I would say one important, first of all, we upgraded us to the Operator SDK version 1.3, sorry, which is minimal, not the latest one, but very, very close to the latest one. And this really opened up possibility for us to implement additional feature at the end, so good webhook support and the others. So stuff. At the same time, we migrated from clusters resource definition beta API to the V1. Then we introduced the custom naming strategies, which is definitely important for those who wants to bind to inject bindings as files, because that kind of strategy is very, very well aligned to what spec is defining. So the file names of the files are equal to the binding names. And we unfortunately need to upgrade the group API, which is the breaking API change, but that's the only change. So the adoption of the clients is relatively straightforward. And the secrets, intermediate secrets, which are generated by the operator, are now immutable, which means in case that there is some update on the binding, so a new secret will be generated. That new secret will be then injected into the application. The good side of this is that in case there's any crashes of the application, it could be reverted to the previous state easily, and that previous state will refer the old secret. And finally, what we did at the end was, let me just define. Yeah, so we also added the possibility to install operator on a non-LLM cluster, on a plain Kubernetes cluster. We are going to post on the release pages with the 0.5 version release YAML file, which contains only the resources, so that file can be easily applied on a cluster. And as a result of that, the operator will be installed in a dedicated namespace. This opens up possibility to also develop a Helm chart around this. So stay tuned for this. We have already a ticket about that, and we are going to start to work on this soon. So looking forward to start the release process today. Hopefully the 0.5 version will be then available from the beginning of the next week, both in Operator Hub and the Red Hat catalog. Any comments, feedback?
Sorry, yeah, just now I heard there is a broken API change for the group name of the service binding operator. Yeah, I noticed that, yeah, just check it is adding the binding as a prefix. So for us, for our use case, that, yeah, I think when we use service binding operator in the IBM code engine offering, we will have the UX and also the CLI support. So the API group changes means broken changes, and also it will affect all of our CLI and UI implementation. So I want to know whether I think we will bump the latest binding operators master into our production soon. So I want to know whether there is any other breaking changes in plan, so that we can better plan our production delivery schedule according to the changes on the suspending operator side.
We don't have any particular plan to break API in the future. That was this came out of the need after discovery, practically, that the under the given group API name, we are not able to register webhook in the cluster because the OLM is really guarding against this. And so we needed to, for that particular group API name, and that was really necessary in order to unblock us there, in order to implement additional verifications around service binding submissions and injecting some information into service bindings. That's as I mentioned on a couple of meetings before, it's very unfortunate, but we need to do this now, and especially better now than when we reach the GA status. So we are still in the tech preview mode. So, and the API we kind of announced is still in the V1 alpha. So that I understand that you're relying on this, but the other side, as I mentioned, it's all the fields, all the other parts of the service binding remain the same. We are just changing the group API name, so the change on your side should be relatively small. Yeah, but you're right. In any other cases where if we recognize that there is a need for some breaking API change, we are going to announce this on these calls so that you can be informed well in advance.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And also, just curious. I want to know how. Yeah, these are breaking changes and will affect the existing service binding CRs and also expecting the existing users. I want to know whether there is any experience how you handle this in OpenShift.
We also in our UI. We also need to update the client to reflect that. Now, given this is the group API name change, there is also strategy you could support both. For example, group API names. So the strategy would be to look at the cluster, to look at the custom resource definition, and if you find a service binding which belongs to group A, then you can actually create. You can create like requests with that group. Otherwise, you can create with another group. So that will be a strategy if you want to support, say, 0.4 operator and 0.5 operator version.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yes, we're back to you.
Okay. Thank you. That's all we have from a scheduled updates perspective. Did anybody have any other announcements, comments, questions for Roundtable? Okay, looks like that's what we have for today. All right, thank you so. Oh, looks like there's a question.
Yeah, Wojciech, say.
Oh yeah, we can follow up later. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you all. Have yourselves a good rest of your day. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.